Waiting's hard. I don't know of anyone who would disagree with that. Whether you're waiting on a special day like a wedding or a birthday or a vacation, or whether you're waiting for those medical results to come in. The researchers say that we spend 5 years of our lives waiting in line. But when you're waiting for those medical results to come in, it seems like a lifetime. And I know. When I was waiting for my scan results to come back to see if the cancer had returned, I remember waking up in the middle of the night and refreshing that portal. It's hard to concentrate. It's hard to think about anything else because you don't know what's going to happen. And as Christians, does that mean that we act like that feeling is not there? No. We're not immune to that feeling. We feel fear. We are afraid. And God doesn't ask us to pretend as though we're not. He just says, give it to Him. I learned today there's a word for this. It's called scan anxiety, meaning you're just, waiting for those results. But God is with you during that waiting. He asks that you just give your fears to Him. There's countless Bible studies about Bible verses about not being afraid, not letting this get to you. During those dark times, you can't let the devil in. He's going to make you feel worse because that's to his advantage. I just finished a Bible study on 2 Corinthians, and Paul told us to take captive every thought and bend them to the obedience of God. So when those ideas or thoughts come in your head, you've got to take captive of them and take control of them. And you have to give all of those things to God. And He also tells us not to worry about tomorrow, because it's got enough of its problems. We just have to live day to day. And I don't mean this to sound elementary or though I've lost grip on reality, but if you don't have the results today, you can say, I don't have cancer. I don't have XYZ. I don't have the results, so I don't have that today. And then you live your life like God has asked you to do. Every day He tells us what we need to do and obey Him and do His bidding, help others, love our neighbor. All of those things you can do in the waiting. But the one promise that I hold on to all the time is He says, I will never leave you or forsake you. Never. That doesn't mean when you're in the waiting room, He's like, well, I'm going to step out for a moment. Or you're waiting for those results. Well, I'm not there. He's there every time. He also knows what those results are going to be. He also is making plans for your life, no matter what you're going to have to endure. Does that mean you're not going to have any bad things happen in your life? Absolutely not. But what it means is He is there with you. You need to think about what He has done for you in your life. We all know the story of David and Goliath. What made David so confident that he could slay that giant? Because God had rescued him from the lion, from the bear, and He knew He would do it again. So something I always encourage all my friends to do is keep a journal. Write down your thoughts. Write down the answers that God gives you in those situations. Or write down what you're waiting for. And then when something happens again, go back and read it and realize that God was there for you and He'll be there for you again. We are told to take everything to prayer. Everything, every situation, not just a few, not the good, not the bad, everything. And in the Bible, there were countless people waiting for things. You could read stories all day long. But we also know the rest of the story and what came after they waited. And none of their waiting time was meaningless. It all had a role. It all played a part. And so when you realize that God is in control, no matter what you're waiting on, no matter what the results are that you feel, you know it's going to be okay, because He's working all things, not just a few, all things. And He knows what those results are going to be. He knows what's going to happen tomorrow. And He's already preparing our journey. He's already making the way. Now, when we get bad results on our scan, would we have chosen that journey? No. But neither did His Son. Jesus knew what was awaiting Him. And He even asked, can this pass? But God didn't do that. He loved us enough that He let Jesus die on that cross for our sins because He loved us. You see, God has enough grace for today. And you do not need to worry about tomorrow. Does that mean that our future's not important? No. But it means that He's got it. He's got all of this. So let me tell you that when there is something you're waiting for, there is peace because God is there. Remember, the valley is not the punishment. It's where God's love shines. So to get more, listen to some more, I would love for you to listen to God in His Comfort, and I put the link in the chat. Listen to it, drop a line or two, let me know how you felt about it. Tell me a time that you've had to wait for something and you've been anxious for it and what happened. But I'm telling you, I've been through this. I know firsthand how God is always with us. And all you have to do is trust in Him. God bless you.